Well, in the last vlog I shared I was feeling a bit uninspired and not sure. Usually I love to host things this time of year, but I just couldn't really put my finger on anything that was really getting me excited to piece together essentially. But I'm thankful to report that I'm feeling much more inspired recently. So we are riding that wave, and I have some garden updates and ideas that I want to share with you. And then tomorrow morning, we're actually hosting a bee-themed story time for some of our friends, and I'm so looking forward to it. Of course, it's great enrichment for the kids, read a book, have quality time, playtime, but it's also a fun excuse for me to make a bunch of different crafts and DIYs. So I have some ideas brewing that hopefully we can piece together today, and then it's tomorrow morning at 9:30, so I really want to set up as much as I can today and then get the food ready, whatever food I can prep and have that ready to go. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But again, thankful to feel this inspiration, this burst of inspiration.
Yesterday I was clever, wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I'm changing myself. Let go of
Okay, there's a carpenter bee on our bougainvillea. Is that a good sign that it's healing it? I sure hope so. It is a windy day, and there's some rain in the forecast this afternoon, which excites me. I really hope we get a little rain shower. I think the garden would absolutely love that. Something that I need to think through are these trellises. I love them. I love how big they are, and they worked great with vining our sweet potatoes and the sweet potatoes grow within the soil, but I just trailed some of the leaves just for kind of the aesthetic of it. I like how it looked. But then our pumpkin vines, I trailed them, and then they're able to grow on a trellis. And I would love to grow our cucumbers and watermelon on this trellis because they both love a trellis. But the problem with this trellis is that it gets so hot that in the middle of the summer it just burns the leaves and the stems because the metal just gets so incredibly hot. So I'm trying to brainstorm how I can expand on the trellis and maybe add in sticks or some or other sort of mesh. I don't know, but something that won't be as hot, and I can still utilize this as my base, but then expand on it with something that'll stay more cool in those really hot summer months. So I'm brainstorming. I would love any advice if you have any for me. But in the meantime, they're fine, and I'll hope for the best. But that's what I'm afraid of, is that it'll just be way too hot for the vines to grow on them. The cucumbers are very happy and growing more and more each day. We've been getting so much pollinator activity on the flowers. Look at all the bees on our daisies here. These are called Blackfoot daisies, and I love how they trail out of the bed. We ended up trimming our bougainvillea in hopes that that will spark some new growth, and it had already been well over a month, so we're just gonna give it time and see. I really, in my heart of hearts, I do believe it'll come back. It's just interesting how there's not even a little tiny leaf yet, because I planted a bougainvillea more recently. It's a much younger plant on the other side of our garden, and that's already having a ton of new growth. And you would think that an older, more mature plant would be stronger against a freeze and a frost, but I'm sure there's some science that I don't know, or maybe even just where it is in the garden. This one took a bigger hit from the wind and the cold. I'm not sure, but we're hoping for the best, and you know, counting our blessings of all of the other blooms and growth that we are experiencing. Thankfully, all of our palm trees seem to be coming back. Again, it's just gonna take time. Okay, I thought of a side quest. I'm getting a little distracted, but I was using this template for another project, and I was looking at our door, and we have to touch it up anyways just from wear and tear. And I was thinking, what if I just took this template and added a little flower detail to our door? I mean, why not? I think that is so fun and beautiful. So I'm tempted. I'm gonna think on it for like 5 more minutes and then we'll decide. A honey latte is in order for today.
And yours alone will be alive.
Okay, now to work on some storytime crafts. This is what I'm gonna try to create a beehive out of. I have this fun gold egg, and this is gonna be my base to sort of help me achieve that hive shape. And then I have these packaging materials that I just saved from different packages, and my idea is to wrap it around the egg and glue it so that it'll create like the layers of the hive, give it some dimension, and then I'm gonna paint it yellow. That's my goal. We'll see. I thought about, oh, I have some tissue paper here because I love a paper mache moment, which initially I was thinking I would just use a balloon and then make the hive out of paper mache, which I might still do if this fails, but since it's Easter season and I thought this would be fun to have for our son anyways for Easter, I was like, oh, I can repurpose it for the hive in the meantime, and we can go from there. But I might need to paper mache over this packaging materials and then paint it. I'm not so sure, but we're gonna try our best and see what we can piece together.
Stars are seen in the dark, silence the mind. Stars are seen in the dark, silence the mind. Let your life become living poetry. You were born with wings, your heart knows the way. Let your life become living poetry. You were born with wings, your heart knows the way.
Okay, here's how our hive is turning out. Are you getting the vision? See it come together? I'm pleased with it so far. Originally I was thinking that I would paint it because I have oodles of yellow paint, but I kind of am talking myself out of it because I feel like it's just going to take forever to get in all the crevices. It'd be different if I had spray paint, but I don't have spray paint. So I gathered all the yellow tissue paper I have in our craft closet. So it's not much, but I'm thinking we can have enough to cover it all. I'm gonna cut it in strips and then try to start Mod Podging and hope that it'll cover every nook and cranny. They also are different shades of yellow, but I feel like that could potentially look cute and crafty, so we'll see. Another little project is our welcome sign, and I saw this in our craft closet. I have it hanging up on the little closet wall, and I love how it looks as a little keepsake, but I think I'm actually going to peel off some of the letters and repurpose them for this storytime sign because we have all the letters that we need, and they're already painted yellow, which is kind of perfect. So I think I'll utilize those, and then I also have these bee cutouts from the craft store, so maybe use one of these or a couple of them. And then I also have this honeycomb template, so maybe I'll watercolor the background of one of these blank papers, and then, which maybe I'll do a different, bigger poster board-esque paper. I'm not so sure because this is actually smaller. Maybe I'll want a bigger welcome sign, but this is what I'm working with. Still brainstorming, but I'm excited to piece it together.
Be like a tree. Let the dead leaves fall. Let your life become living poetry. You were born with wings. Your heart knows the way.
I'm starting to lay out more things for tomorrow. These fun paper lantern pendants I've had from past gatherings, so I thought the colors were fun and cheerful so we can hang them outside in the morning. And then Hobby Lobby had a bunch of bee stuff, so I got some plates, napkins, and then they also had this honeycomb table runner, and I originally was gonna put this with the food, but I feel like it actually would pop really nicely layered over our current table runner. For breakfast tomorrow, we have these little mini quiches, and then also these like potato bites and muffins, banana chocolate chip muffins. I'm actually going to make them right now, so they're prepped and ready to go. A bunch of fruit. I'll probably do a platter. I thought about doing a fruit salad, like a mix, but I feel like a platter is better because some kids don't like certain fruits or prefer other fruits. And then coffee, of course, and then I'll probably put out the teapot with some tea options with some honey, of course. Can see a layer of Palmer hair on this rug right here, so it's time for a tidy up. I'm gonna try to vacuum, do a quick mop, and then tomorrow after story time, I only do this like twice a year, but it's time to clean the couch and take off all the cushions. So we'll deal with that after the story time. I figured that would probably be wise because we'll have like breakfast and little fingers everywhere. So that's the plan, but yeah, it's time to just do a little cleanup. This is just after vacuuming the rug, by the way. So much dog hair. Okay, I've been letting the paper mache hive sort of sit for a minute or a minute, actually hours. And part of me kind of liked it better without the yellow. I liked the, how you could see the rims more without adding the additional tissue paper layers, but you know, we've gone this far, so I'm just gonna keep chugging along and do the rest of the paper that I have. And then I also have these little bees I'll show you, but they're actually from our first Halloween costume with our son Wells. We were beekeepers and he was a little bee, and the beekeeper costume came with little bees, so I'm gonna glue a couple of those and do a hive entrance, and then I'm gonna debate if I want to add like some kind of green detail to the top. I'm not totally sure yet, but you know, it's cool, it's fun. We like a little quirky crafted moment. Alrighty, it's the night before. I laid out different platters and our little paper plates and napkins and bowls and our little drink station. I actually want to pull out some of the cups that we'll use for that and the mugs, so I need to do that. And then over here we have just miscellaneous decor, so we'll wrap up, set up in the morning, but I'm so excited. It's gonna be such a sweet part of the day. That's enough for today. Sweet dreams. This is the mop pad before mopping. The after honestly isn't as bad as I thought it would be. Time to dismantle the beehive so we can use the egg underneath. And that's a wrap. What a fulfilling morning. It's, you know, a bit chaotic, a lot going on, but it's very sweet to have those memories. And, you know, now the rest of the day, well, a cleanup is in order. We've been tidying up, and I am going above and beyond with the cleanup because that was also in order, and I actually have a little bit more cleaning drive than usual. I guess the spring cleaning is calling me. So gonna continue cleaning up and then get to kind of relax for the rest of the day after that, which is really nice, and think back on all the cute kids and moments this morning. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and I'm excited to see you next. Bye!